Hello ladies, gentlemen, and persons in between. My name is Tim Snowborn, and today I'm here with a brief update on the net neutrality video I did a couple of weeks ago after this episode of Serious Issues. So I intend for this video to go up on Friday, December 15th, which will be the day after the FCC votes to end net neutrality. By the time this video goes up, net neutrality will be gone. But take heart, netizens, because there's ample reason to believe that net neutrality will not be dead for good. Most people on the pro-net neutrality side expect there to be a long legal fight, and there's good reasons to believe that we will win. An article on Wired talks about a 1946 law called the Administrative Procedures Act, which says that federal agencies can't make capricious decisions. It basically means that federal agencies can't arbitrarily make major policy changes when a new administration comes in. Remember at the end of the last video when I talked about, are we gonna gain net neutrality every 8 years when a Democrat comes in and lose it every 8 years when a Republican comes in? That's what the Administrative Procedures Act is meant to address. It's meant to keep that from happening. It means that federal agencies have to have a good reason for making major policy changes. Now last year, in the middle of June 2016, the FCC, under Obama appointee Tom Wheeler, successfully argued in federal appeals court that the FCC had the authority to regulate the internet under Title II, which again, Title II refers to common carrier services like electricity and phones. So the FCC argued in the middle of 2016, just last year, that they had the authority to regulate the internet under Title II. They won that case, which means that current FCC Chairman Ajit Pai has to argue that there have been significant changes just since last June that warrant a complete reversal on net neutrality. A TechSpot article I found says that Pai is indeed arguing that investment in broadband services has fallen since 2015 when the Obama administration reclassified it under Title II. But the numbers he's using are in dispute. There have been moves within the telecom industry that suggest that they are anything but shy about investing in broadband services. An article in Inverse points out that net neutrality has a pretty good track record in the federal courts. Federal courts seem to agree that blocking, throttling, and paid prioritization of traffic are all bad things, probably because they're such a significant threat to the free speech of consumers. ISPs are arguing that net neutrality inhibits their right to free speech because, of course, corporations are people now, and the ISPs are saying that net neutrality inhibits their right to free speech because they provide a platform for other people to exercise free speech. Therefore, they are purveyors of free speech, and net neutrality inhibits their discretion as to what kind of free speech they can convey or what kind of stuff they can and can't or have to say. So that's their argument. So far the courts seem to disagree. They've ruled that just because the tech giants provide a vessel for free speech does not mean that they are making free speech themselves. The courts have agreed that reclassifying the internet under Title II is the best way to defend free speech and prevent blocking, throttling, and paid prioritization. Chairman Pai and the telecom giants he represents shouldn't be able to scrap net neutrality without showing that it's a significant threat to the free speech of consumers. Of course, the buck stops at the Supreme Court, and with the conservatives currently enjoying a 5-4 majority thanks to a stolen seat, in the interim, between now and the inevitable Supreme Court case, it's possible that the Federal Appeals Court will issue an injunction keeping net neutrality in place while the case works its way through the Supreme Court. Or if not, we'll at least temporarily see what the internet's going to look like without net neutrality. Perhaps when conservative voters see what the internet will look like without net neutrality, they'll start demanding that Republicans in Congress reinstate it via legislation. So what do you think, guys? Do you think net neutrality is gone for good, or do you think the courts will help us save it? I look forward to reading your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for joining me for this conversation. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Great to have you here. I'd love to have you subscribe and join me for future conversations and check out my other videos for more. If you are a current subscriber, thank you for tuning in again. I very much appreciate your continued support. Don't forget to call your congressman and support net neutrality and condemn the Republicans' new tax plan. It is not too late to stop that. Thanks again for joining me, everyone. I'll see you next time in another episode of Serious Issues.